So I'm excited. And I love cultural stories because I don't feel that I feel that it's hard to really find writers that mainstream big writers, that do it well. Layla is one of them. Your friend Layla, Abu Layla, she does it well. I think you do it well. And then a lot of, you know, stories that get traditionally published here in the U.S. About immigrants. Not a lot of them are good. So that's why the independent authors need to be voiced out a little bit. They need that platform to share their
Yeah.
immigrant stories because lately they're last year we had American Dirt and that was just such an insult to us. So I really and plus I just feel like immigrant stories they're just so powerful because it's not just the adventure crossing over, it's the before and the after. It's the
Yeah.
aftermath of living in a new place. It's the before journey of taking the risk and or being a refugee or having a dream, whatever it is. So that's why I think they're so fascinating. And I
Mhm.
think it would, with everything that had gone on, we had 4 years of hate against immigrants for a long
Yeah.
time that was just amplified. I mean, it had always been there, but it was amplified here in the United States for obvious reasons. And now I feel like we have the chance to, first off, govern well. And second, to really shift the narrative a little bit since things are wild. I feel like now we have to do things better and do things well to calm the
Yeah.
waters and to just you know,
I
reopen
think there's
and
going to be a huge shift. Yeah, it's going to be like there's so much stuff going to come pouring out after the 4 years. There's going to be like
yeah.
an avalanche of like stories. I already see it like happening with the, with the Muslim Americans being more represented, Latinos. Oh my God, like so in government and otherwise, and women also being more represented everywhere. What else? I just see it in comedy. I see it on like the TikTokers are a big thing as well. So you
Yeah.
see like a really wide range of like the culture and immigrant stories on TikTok, which I mean I'm not on TikTok, but I see them on Instagram.
Instagram via
And I'm
TikTok. I do too. I don't really look at TikTok a
yeah,
lot, but Native
I don't
American,
have an account.
yeah, it's full of dance videos. I mean, that just lures me in
um,
right away. So I
oh,
have to get TikTok off
I,
TikTok. But Native Americans actually did a lot of really beautiful stuff on TikTok. Like they would do
yeah.
there's one that sings beautifully and she dresses in the
Oh,
full
the
Native.
girl. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
what's her name? Oh,
I
I
don't know
follow
her
her. She's
name.
amazing.
Her
She
stuff
just
is,
won something. She
yeah.
won a award thing, or yeah, I just randomly found her singing. I don't know, maybe it was through you. I have no idea, but she's definitely a person to follow. And yeah, she sings and she does her hair, and she's into the maternal culture, matriarchal stuff. So I love that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the thing about the immigrant stories, I wanted to say, people don't realize like that people come with so many different stories already, right? Yeah, not everybody comes on a ship, like in the
Oh
olden,
yeah.
like we're not that. Even we're the newer immigrants. So you have the newer immigrants, and then you have the older immigrants who came like 200 years ago, or like, right? The newer ones have with so many different reasons they arrived there with different, not like the ones that came before, so you might come as a student, which is how I came to the United States. Came as a student, and then I became an immigrant. So I didn't come as an asylum seeker. I didn't come I wasn't a refugee, even though my country was non-existent. Became non-existent maybe a few years into my arrival into the United States. So Yugoslavia just fell apart and all that. So yeah, I mean, we come with different stories, and we find refuge there. And I just, I'm very proud to say that I'm an American, and I take my oath seriously. So, I think it's for immigrants perhaps more. I don't know. I'm not going to say how other people think, but for me, when I took the Pledge of Allegiance, and when it was a serious moment in my life. It wasn't something I take lightly. It definitely made a big impact versus when you're just born there. Maybe you just don't realize because you work so hard to become an American citizen. You actually have to study, right? Like your parents or your grandparents were immigrants, right?
My father's
Your father.
he's not a citizen though. Like he has a green card, but he never became a citizen.
Okay.
So, which is kind of strange because he's lived in this country, like he came over when he was young.
Mm,
But he wanted to keep his property in Mexico or something like that. So
okay.
he couldn't have dual citizenship. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But my grandfather and my grandmother, oh no, they're not. I don't know if they're citizens either, or they ever became, because they're deceased now. Yeah, they never talk about these things, like they don't. My actually my mom's parents. I think he became a citizen as well. But yeah, they you know what? It's a shame I never asked them that, because I just considered them American. But I think when you're an American and you're a person of color, you
Mm,
identify more as a Mexican American or
mm,
a Asian American, because you're different and you're not
yeah.
the standard white American, like, so
The
I
thing
think
is,
you,
people think I get off easy because I'm a standard white person, but I am still an immigrant. When I open my mouth, I've come across a lot of ridicule, like, for my accent is like, was a disaster when I write. Maybe it's still a disaster. I have no idea. But like, my V's and W's, forget that. Like I was obviously a person of Eastern European descent. So, and then I also spoke Arabic, so I had the weirdest accent. It was a combination of Arabic and Slavic, so it was weird. But but I guess it's easier. It's easier to blend in. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't know. That's my experience. I wouldn't know. I'm not a person of color, obviously, but I am an immigrant.
yeah, I
So.
don't know. I guess if it's hard to, I think we have to find common grounds of what Americans, um, of what being American is. I always felt like it was just like a melting pot. There's all these different people here. It's innovation, ideas, Star
Mm.
Spangled Freedom, do what you want kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But I always had
Yeah,
to,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Actually, now I'm thinking like the experiences of white, like people from East Europe or Russians who are white and they're immigrants is completely different from immigrants from other regions. So that's why I'm saying there's so many layers to being an immigrant as well,
yeah,
and so many stories to write.
yeah,
There's too many
exactly.
stories, not enough time. No, I don't think we'll ever write everything we wanted to, right?